Welcome Cancer to your in-depth weekly forecast for week beginning the 22nd of December. Thank you so much for your views, interactions, comments and likes throughout the year. If you've yet to sub, please help the channel to continue to thrive. If you've yet to order your personal forecast for next year based on your unique birth data, if you do so now, you also get your life roadmap report. But at the checkout, if you apply Astro 26, you'll get 50% off. Please see the link below for more. You'll also get your free gift of your Zodiac General, Love, Chinese and Indian written forecast. As you come into this week, Cancer, the Sun has moved into your sector of relating, joining up with the thrusting energies of Mars, and Venus plays catch-up later in the week on Wednesday. I can tell you that through to the middle of January, some very significant and positive developments can occur for you around all sorts of relationships. But when we think about relationships, it's often a precept that it will be about romantic ties. But this energy that's developing for you can bring greater harmony to all sorts of connections. But not harmony at all costs, because Mars, being in your 7th house, can also help you to be more assertive, set boundaries, and where needed, be more combative. But Venus brings a more diplomatic, harmonizing vibe for sure. And your natural talent for listening is also going to be amplified. Now, if you're in a relationship which hasn't necessarily always run smoothly, Christmas can, of course, be a time of challenge. We spend more time with people, for example, than we're used to. And what I would say is that in the early part of this week, Venus is challenged strongly by Saturn. And if it feels that all the chores and all the planning is falling to you and some of your freedom is being compromised, it wouldn't really be a surprise. So this week, particularly at the beginning of the week, may feel a little bit gritty. But just know that as we go into the new year and through to the new moon in your sector of relating on the 18th of January, there are lots of opportunities to improve dialogue, to hear where other people are coming from, to express where you're coming from. But for sure, if you don't feel seen or heard, the thrusting energies of Mars can give you the tools in your astro kit in order to negotiate, because there can be a tendency with Cancer people to completely withdraw if it's not going very well. But I feel that this cluster of energy, including the moon at the start of this week in an opposition with Jupiter in your sign, is giving you a little bit of positivity, even if it is not necessarily easy to go through some tricky moments. But if you can bear with it, something can emerge from it that's very powerful and positive for you. But when it comes to your professional situation, you did have Saturn and Neptune for some of last year, not necessarily making life particularly easy. And if you recall, even when Jupiter moved into Cancer, Saturn was not letting Jupiter really thrive in the way it ordinarily would once every 12 or 13 years. Now, they're on better terms now for sure, but at the end of this week there is a quarter moon in Aries. And if there's a professional relationship which isn't working so well and you don't feel seen, you don't feel appreciated or respected, your boundaries are being overwhelmed, it could give you food for thought as you come to the end of this year and you set your intentions for next year. Because I think it's very important, being a water sign, that your soul energy is really activated by whatever you do. So if something's a little too functional, very Capricorn, but doesn't really feed your senses, that could be a relationship that you contemplate as we make our way into that fresh start. Now on Christmas Day, the moon starts the day in quite an intense part of your chart, the 8th house, but make you very aware of things. Later in the day, it's much more playful, free-spirited, and could see you wanting to get out for a walk or do something a bit more spontaneous. I'd like to wish you a very happy Christmas. If you are spending the day on your own and it's not really your total choice, just know you'll very much be in my thoughts.